What is something people are not ready to hear? That regardless of who gets elected president in the US election this year, civil war is most likely inevitable. Those of you in the LGBTQ community with conservative friends and family, they don't love you, respect you, or view you as a human. They'll vote for your genocide and not give it a second thought. You aren't alone, however. We as a community must come together to face the Christo-fascist threat so we aren't hunted for sport. That's just because you believe something, whether about yourself or the world in general, it doesn't give you the right to demand that everyone believe what you believe or to force other people act as though what you believe is true. For example, if you believe in God, then don't force me to also believe in God or force me to act as though God is real. There is no left and right wings in the US government. Democrats are mildly center-left and Republicans are mildly center-right. Hence why voting seems to make very little difference. Yet the way they act towards one another, particularly people on social media, you'd think it was far left versus far right. At the close of the Constitutional Convention of 1787, Benjamin Franklin was asked what form of government the public could expect. He replied, "A republic, if you can keep it. We have failed to maintain our part of the bargain. If our country is going down the crapper, it's because we've let it happen." Your drinking habits are concerning and bordering on alcoholism. Coming from a former alcoholic who did not want to hear it. I thought because I drank the way everyone else did that I was fine. Turns out I was just surrounded by a lot of people with scary drinking habits. No matter what steps you take before marriage and how carefully you choose a partner, it can still end unexpectedly and cruelly. Mostly hear young kids spouting their theories on how to not get divorced. As if I didn't also arrogantly think the same thoughts at their age. That every day, the US voting population becomes less white, less conservative, and less religious as more and more so-called boomers die off. Note, I'm an older, white American guy who welcomes these changes for the sake of future generations. Your mileage may vary, but after 25 years in nursing with a lot of end-of-life experience, I've noticed Buddhists and atheists are much more accepting of death than almost everyone else. Anecdotal. No evidence, but notable all the same. The bee population is declining at an alarming rate. But even if we reverse it as we are trying now, it doesn't matter. The honeybee we know is only one of thousands of species that each contribute to the ecosystem in a significant way. Your arguments on Twitter are not changing anyone's opinions or even influencing them. It's too much of a self-validating hug box to do so. So all you are doing is wasting time and deliberately making yourself mad. If you share food and drink with your pets, aka letting the pet bite or drink from the source and putting the source back into your mouth, you're disgusting and you might want to get checked for parasites. There are a lot of single moms because these adults were never ready to settle down, but they got lazy and fucked without a condom for a month before being told they're going to have a kid together. Smiley face. That there's no universal truth bomb that your psyche can drop on other minds to completely shatter them. We're all in over our heads and need to feel this out together if we're going to survive. Feminism is a great cause, but the loudest 90 of feminism is basically female red pills with better marketing and far more gendered hate. Just can't say it. Downvotes in 3,2,1. Quite a lot of those in the public eye and famous people that society idolizes are much more problematic than others realize. A lot of the time we don't know even half the story. I don't care what you think, I'm farting in the elevator if the mood suits me. And I don't always cover my mouth every single fucking time I cough. Live with it, bitch. You bear personal responsibility for what you consume and how to dispose of your waste, even if other people are enabling you. Even if those other people are wealthy. More of the good things that have happened to you are due to luck, and more of the bad things are the foreseeable consequence of your choices than you admit. Wars should be fought by assassinating the leaders who provoke them, rather than have the masses kill each other to benefit the rich powerful elite. There are other forms of love besides the romantic kind. It's okay to love other people even if it's not coming back to you in the way you hoped. That Democrats and Republicans are on the same side, and it's not a side working for the people. Americans have been played for a very long time. The global financial system is fundamentally flawed. The debt cannot be paid back. The interest will always outpace the principal. Bringing politics into any argument that didn't start with relating to politics is the dumbest possible way to try and win. Most of us aren't really special or nearly as important as we were raised to believe. And that's okay. It's okay to be normal. That the richer the liberal is, the more they like Trump, and the poorer the conservative is, the more they like Trump. The Western world will need to make some major lifestyle changes if we want to avoid filling the oceans with plastic. Adversity is not proportional to, just because something looks hard, does not mean it will be. Your actions and choices have consequences. Blaming other people for your cock-ups is childish in the extreme. A child will increase or decrease your overall happiness and you won't know until you become a parent. The human population is too large and it is a basis for the destruction of this planet. Just because something isn't your fault, doesn't mean that it's not your responsibility. Any people that are still megaheads are being played harder than the devil's fiddle. Being fat isn't cute or okay, it's unhealthy and will help you inch closer to death. That's there's a 80 chance you're being stalked and you don't even know it. A lot of people are not responsible or knowledgeable enough to have a dog. You don't owe your family anything just because they are related to you. It doesn't matter who we vote for. We aren't the ones who decide. Everyone is crazy. They're just better at managing it than you. Influencers are the last people you should be influenced by. The people who hurt you do not care. Stop trying to make them. Men are the most discriminated class of people on the planet. Nihilism is and will always be the truth and the only way. Just because you're offended, doesn't mean you're right.